Spirit is answering your question. Yes. Spirit is giving you guidance. Yes. But you're not separate from that. You're in a reference point, a variation point, who is allowing communication with itself. Holding that alignment more and more will take your space of how you read oracle cards for yourself and others to an entirely new level. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to this space. Welcome, welcome. So do you like oracle cards, or have you even ever thought about them, used them, had somebody read for you? And you may be more familiar with tarot. That's like probably the OG, the OG of the space. But I want to talk about them. Do you want to talk about them? I want to talk about oracle cards and tarot and why people utilize them, how people utilize them, and how we could edit maybe, or adjust might be a better word. And we could adjust our interpretation of them as we are adjusting our energy. So we're adjusting our understanding of ourself, and we're adjusting our understanding of the world around us. And so that is also giving us the opportunity to adjust all the ways we're being us, including reading using oracle cards, oracle decks, and or tarot. So I'm not an expert on tarot. I've read tarot cards for many years, but for myself mainly, sometimes for a client here and there. Oracle cards, I have been much more comfortable with. I feel like tarot has so many specifics with each major arcana, minor, with all the, connectivity and the possibilities of what they mean when certain cards are showing up with other cards. And so I just never got into learning it that detailed, going that deep. But I think it's fantastic and fascinating, and it's really cool. But one thing that I will say that I feel about tarot and oracle decks that I really want to bring into the conversation here today is how they work. So what is happening when somebody is utilizing an oracle deck or a deck of tarot cards, and they're doing a reading and they're asking a specific question? What is happening? I have an idea of what's happening based on my understanding of consciousness and of energy itself, and how the field works, how the process of creation works. And so if I take my understanding and my knowing on all of that, and then I filter in an oracle deck and the understanding of specific cards with specific names and specific meanings, and it's a certain set, a certain number, right, per deck. All decks are a little different. There's some commonalities, but all decks are different in how many cards they have, and the theme of the cards, the type of art that might be used in the cards. And that's really cool because it gives you something to connect to in general in order to choose the deck, right? To feel comfortable with the deck, to resonate with the deck. And then when you use the deck and you get familiar with it, which we'll talk about, I got tips and tools for using oracle decks, okay? When you use the deck to ask your questions, who are you asking your question to? And who is making certain cards come out and bring you a certain answer? Well, a lot of people generally in the spiritual community that read Oracle, and not everybody, but a lot, will say spirit. So the I am, source, God, goddess, the space of origin of all consciousness is communicating to itself, you, through itself, utilizing the cards. And so the spiritual connection, the knowing that spirit is bringing forth the answer. I agree with that. And I think that is completely what is happening. Spirit is bringing you the answer. The divine is bringing you the answer. But here's where that answer is coming from. Here's how, in my opinion, spirit is using this deck, or whatever deck you're using, to communicate the answer to your question based on every single card has a different name and a different meaning. So that means it has a different energy. Some of the cards are representative of things that might be going on that are denser, and some of the cards have an energy that might be things that are going on that are lighter, and everything in between. So then when you ask a question, spirit is assisting with the answer coming through by reading your energy, by reading your field, the system, universe, the system, spirit, God, reads your energy when you ask the question, and then connects with what cards in that deck match your energy to bring you the answer to your question. So your energy is the key to the answer you get. It's your energy that's creating the answer you get from an oracle deck. If you don't like the answer that you get, then you can work on your energy and shifting it in a certain way so that the answer changes to maybe be in an alignment that you do like those cards. You do like that vibration. You do want to see more of that in your life. So just remember that it's, I love reading for people. And I can remember early on reading with a very good friend of mine, and we would be in awe. We would be in awe because it would be like, are you kidding me? Like, the answers would just floor us. We were like, how does this happen? How does this happen? And then I expanded my understanding further of energy itself and consciousness itself and the connection point of it all. And I realized that it was all based on the energy of the person that is asking the question and having the reading done. So if that person is asking about, say you're asking about a relationship, and you're like, what should I do? What's going on with this relationship? And, like, can you give me any information on what's going on with this relationship and like what I should do? Or, and you got to try to be as specific as possible because you're asking a lot. You're asking for a specific answer to come in via 44 cards or whatever, right? Not all of them are adequate to answer that question. They might be in a different type of alignment, right? But say you're asking a question about a relationship, and then you get in the reading that you need to clear some energies, that there's some attachment going on, that maybe you get, here, we'll just use it. We'll just do a reading. Let's do a reading. We'll just do it. Let's do it. You want to do it? Okay. So this can be for in general, because I know people are like, well, who is she reading for? Like you said, it gauges off the energy. So what we're going to do, because you can do this, is we're going to say anyone listening to me right now that has a love-based relationship, a romantic relationship that they, for whatever reason, are feeling unsure about, that they have some questions about. Let's see what advice, guidance, insights Spirit could give for anyone hearing me right now with a question about a romantic relationship that they're in. Okay, and then we just allow allow these energies to run while we just see what's going to come out. What's the guidance? A romantic relationship. Okay, so now let's see what these cards say. So if you're hearing me right now, you got a question about a romantic relationship. Remember, you need to listen and feel into this yourself. Well, this is cool. Right off the bat, we have divine union, a soulmate, a twin flame, a divine connection of some kind is involved. So if you're in a romantic relationship that you're asking about right now, it feels aligned for you to be in on this read. You have a soul connection with this person. It is beneficial right now for you to start being available to clear the space and intend to clear your being. You can envision this symbol. It's a triangle with some lines of light over it with a star at the top. Very, very interesting star as well, if I might say. This is an Acasma quantum energy key, a clearing key. It's called the Acasma pyramid, and it can be used to clearing spaces and being the body itself if you want as well, by just allowing yourself to hold the intention to clear your being, clear your space. So connected with this relationship, there is maybe some turmoil, some fighting, some confusion, some misunderstandings that have happened along the way. And clearing your being and clearing the space will be very helpful right now. It would be helpful to do that. You might also want to work with selenite. If you have a piece of this crystal, it's very easy to find selenite. You can get it just about, like, I think you can go on Amazon and get it. You can go to Home Goods, TJ Maxx. I'm in America. Local crystal stores, shops sell it. But selenite is excellent for clearing energy. Working with selenite crystal or the energy through intention would be very helpful at this time. So if you can't get your hands on selenite, you can work with the vibration of selenite. So you could envision this Acasma pyramid. Think Acasma pyramid. You could envision this, intend this. It'll clear you and your space, and you could intend to bring in the vibration of selenite. It'll also amp up that clearing. There was one more card that came in that said, your ancestors are with you, and this beautiful sea turtle. So a lot of times people, when they're reading oracle decks, will also pay attention to the art because it can bring in additional messages. For myself, I have really big ties to turtle energy, and it means specific things to me. So that might be playing out for somebody else who's watching this or listening to this right now. We have the sea turtle coming in on the card, and it's the ancient ones. Ancestors are with you. So in this relationship that you're asking the question about, what is most beneficial to do right now? What's going on right now with this relationship, this romantic connection in your life right now? It is connected with a very old ancestral line and divine union soulmate connection. Okay, so I'll just kind of fan these out here for you. You can see them one more time. So you have divine union, time to clear, selenite, and the ancient ones. The ancient ones. Okay. So when you're doing an oracle reading like that, that means those who hear me that this resonates with, and if it doesn't resonate with you, you're like, that doesn't fit my romantic relationship. That's okay. we have a certain amount of cards. We have a question we've kind of compacted into a specific alignment. And then we're playing this out for anyone in the entire world to hear. So the odds that it fits every single person would be astronomical. But to be available if it does resonate with you, to understand that that's actually a really beautiful reading. And that means that your energy is in this alignment as well. So your energy is aligning you with your soulmate. Be having some spaces that are a little rocky or a little bit up and down. And that might be why you're getting time to clear. Could be a misunderstanding, could be a confrontation. And that's why you're picking up on time to clear, work with selenite. But whatever's happening in this relationship, remember, it's all connected to the energy of the people in the relationship. This is very big work. So whatever's going on in this relationship, you can see it topically, like you can see it through the vantage point of human romance and flesh-based desire, but that is not the core PowerPoint of this relationship. The core PowerPoint of this relationship is ancient. It's really, really ancient. And the ancestors are cheering you on. They're offering guidance. They're supporting you. They're moving mountains in the background, behind the scenes, to assist this divine union continuing to expand in your life, this soulmate journey, this twin flame connection, whatever this is for you. So this is really beautiful. This is allowing us to understand that this relationship is, it has a depth to it that is anchored through the ancestral lines, which is really powerful, really beautiful. All right, so do you want to ask another question? We'll ask another question, and it's fun to learn through actually reading, right? So what I do is I go ahead and just like put my cards back in, but put them in various spaces so that they're not going to be right all together there on the top. And then I should have showed you this to begin with. I did it off screen, but I'll go ahead and tell you now. Whenever I read cards, I always take the deck back out and I will pop it with my right fist 3 times. And then I will take my right hand. I am right-handed, so if you're left-handed, you could reverse this. But I take my right hand, I lay it on top of the deck, and I kind of just move the cards around so that my fingers and my thumb touch every card. So I do this for a minute, just not even really a minute, just like 30 seconds or so. And the whole time I'm thinking clear, clear, and pure connection, clear and pure connection. Sometimes I'll blow on them. It's just me, you do you. But I do that before I do a reading and between people. So if I had multiple people in the room that I was reading for, so then between the people, I would do that again. That's me, that's my method. You can have yours. So let's ask another question and we'll talk about that as well. What is the most beneficial thing we could know right now from spirit, from our higher self, from this connection of ourselves as the divine in the now? What is the most beneficial thing anyone hearing me right now could know? The most beneficial thing we could know right now. And then we just allow shuffling. And you can do it where you actually just stop and pick a card if you feel drawn to pick that card, or that the card has to jump, kind of flip. There's all different ways, whatever you're comfortable. I kind of love it when they pop out on their own. That's my favorite. But sometimes I'll know that I just need to pick a card as well. And that can happen as well. So I'll repeat my question as I'm going. What is the most beneficial thing that everyone hearing me could know? Oh, there's a big jumper. that everyone here could know right now? Spirit, what is the most beneficial thing everyone here could know right now? Okay, that's 3. We'll take 3. Thank you. Sometimes if I feel to do more, I will, but I'll set these down nicely so I can pick them right back up if I want to get a couple more. They're all face down, so I don't know what they are yet. We're going to know together. And so here we go. Oh, okay. Ooh, ooh, I love this reading. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. So the one that jumped out across the room, I'll make sure I let you know that because I always love that when they're super jumpy. Okay, so the very first card, and you can put these in any order. I like to always read them all and then think, okay, is that the order that I see them in? You could do it in the order that they come out, whatever you're most comfortable with. But here is what I'm going to do with these. Wow, this is so good, you guys. So what does Spirit want us to know right now? All humans who are hearing me right now, what is most beneficial thing we could know right now? What are you focusing on? Time to rethink it. Time to redirect your focus. Card number 1. What are you focusing on? Time to rethink it. Time to redirect your focus. So everybody hearing me right now, be really mindful. What are you focused on, right? And if there's spaces that you find in your focus that are not, in your being, in your heart, they're not optimal. They're not the best place to place your energy. They're not the best thing to feed your energy to. Then rethink it, redirect your focus, okay? Second card that jumped out across the room practically that I had to stretch to get is things are not what they seem. Look closer at your experience and listen to your inner knowing. So that goes really well. What are you focusing on? Time to rethink it. Things are not what you see. Things are not what they seem. Look closer at your experience and listen to your inner knowing. And you cannot make this up. This reading is so amazing. The last card that jumped out as well was anchoring higher truth. You are anchoring a new level of you. Trust yourself. You're doing it. So how powerful is this reading, you guys? And that's an actual energy conveyance right there. Those symbols placed in that manner is an Acasma consciousness energy conveyance, okay? So everything's energy. Words hold energy, symbols hold energy, we hold energy, and it all flows and vibes and does its thing. And we can take higher dimensional symbols that we are given. This came into my knowing. I created this deck. It's the Acasma Oceans deck. And I created this deck to share my teachings and my understandings with people. So this goes with a course I teach called the Acasma Quantum Energy Course. But this is a fantastic reading of what does Spirit want us all to know right now? What is the message that is most helpful for us right now? And that is, what are you focusing on? Things are not what they seem. Really pay attention. Don't just think, oh, I'm focusing on the right thing because this is this. Look at that again and listen with your inner knowing, because what you think it isn't. Let that truth rise. And most likely the truth does not exist in what's going on around us. The truth exists in us. And we need to start listening to that because we're anchoring that higher truth. We're anchoring the higher truth. It's a new level of us. We have to trust ourselves and know that we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, so that was pretty cool. So we could also look at the images, and this has the octopus, which is like one of the most intelligent beings on the planet, according to science. And this one has the coral with the seahorses. So you can't see them, right? You got to really look. The seahorses are purposefully artistically placed over the coral because this is the things are not what they seem, because you might miss it, right? So this is the whole look a little closer. Don't take it at surface value. But some people might have a connection with seahorses. And so that would also be an additional message right there. The whole understanding of the ocean theme and being available to the ebbs and flows of consciousness and of energy and of life itself. Okay, so should we ask one more question? Ooh, I don't know. What do you think? All right, let's think if we could ask one more question. We'll do something timely, I guess, for fun, for learning and talking about oracle reading based on the energy of humanity right now. Because as I started off by this discussion, I said all of the cards hold a specific energy, each unique, and then every person who's hearing me, including myself, we all have a unique energy flow as well. Some of us have very similar energy flows because we have similar beliefs. And so we're seeing similar realities and we're tapping in and creating and feeding our focus to similar spaces. And some of us have very, very different beliefs. And so we're seeing reality very differently. We could be looking at the same exact world, but we don't see it the same. We see it through our own filter. So that energy is very different. So we keep all of that in mind. And we're asking, based on the general energy of those hearing this podcast, we're talking to spirit, we're talking to our higher self, our I am, our connection to source. There's no separation. This is us that we're talking to. It's another variation point of that us. So all the energy that's connecting in right now, hearing this for the first time live or when it's first released, or that caught this thing 10 years later, it doesn't matter. Whoever hears this, can you, spirit, please give guidance on what the next, what the focus for the next 30 days should be? What does the next 30 days look like? Kind of that kind of vibe. What does the next month look like? And what's the focus for that month? Okay, so let's see what we get, okay? What's the focus for that, for the month? Focus for the month of the next 30 days. The focus for the month, the next 30 days. Focus for the month ahead. Focus for the month ahead. Okay. Perfect. We got 3 more. I don't know what they are yet. That's my favorite part. Do you like that part? I love that part. Oh, you guys are going to love this. You guys are going to love this reading. Oh my gosh. Okay. So next 30 days, doesn't matter when you see this, whether this thing came out, this podcast just dropped, or whether this is, a year later and you're catching it. The next 30 days for you. What is the most beneficial thing for you to focus on? How's it going to go? What is it going to look like? Okay, here we go. Ready? Ha ha ha! I love this. I love this. I love this. Faith. First card, faith. Faith is one of the most important things. It is the most important thing. It's not one. It's the most important thing. So whatever you place your faith in, is where your power is. If you're placing your faith in spaces that make you afraid, then you're feeding your fears and you're expanding that alignment for your life. If you place your faith in an unwavering belief of being surrounded by love, then no matter what you experience it through the filter of that faith of being surrounded by love, or that faith of being protected, or that faith of being guided, or that faith of being guarded, all of the above. Whatever your faith is what you are anchoring yourself in. So you can, and it's interesting because people put a lot of faith in worry. They put a lot of faith in anxiety, and they feed that That's what they believe the most. Something's about to happen. I know it. Something bad's going to happen. I know it. You know, that kind of vibe. And so then they're always in that type of vibrational alignment because that's what their faith is in. So be mindful for the next 30 days, especially. You should always be, but like, this is your heads up. This is your heads up, buddy. What are you placing your faith in? Anchor into your wholeness. Remember your divinity. So this message from Spirit right now that you designed, you're hearing this right now, you designed it, that you are sending yourself the message to be mindful of where you're placing your faith. What do you believe is really, you know, the world around you? Can you see past the distortions? Can you see past the narratives? And can you anchor into your wholeness and remember your divinity? Okay. In order to do that, card number 2, you can't make this up, guys. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Drop the old lenses. Allow a new way of seeing this space. Open your mind to a different way of processing the experience. And those glasses laying at the bottom of the ocean, they have the words fear written on them. So stop looking at the world around you through the eyes of fear. Stop looking at the world around you through the eyes of anger. Stop looking at the world around you through the eyes of frustration. Allow a new way. Allow yourself to see the space in a new way. The only way the space can change is if you change the way you're looking at the space and registering the space. Yes. The last card, message to you right now, what the next 30 days, most beneficial thing for you to do, know, and understand about it. Manifesting your life. What you seek is in your hands. Live from the space of having it, and it will become a space you have. Oh, you laying down some power this month. You're always laying down power, but let's allow. So we asked, what is going on over the next 30 days? What's the most beneficial thing to know? Manifesting your life. What you seek is in your hands. It's already in your hands. Stop fighting for it. It already exists. Live from that space of its existence, of having it. And then it becomes the space you have. It can't show up until you are the alignment of it. So, powerful reading of the next 30 days. What's the most beneficial information, guidance? What's it going to be like? Where are you anchoring your faith? Drop the old lenses, see the space in a new way, and realize the manifesting power you wield by being you. It's all you. Whatever the world reflection is, it's your design. So there you have it. 3 really great readings and a little bit of feedback on how you can, if you already work with Oracle cards, you can maybe, a little jumper there. Let's see. Oh, okay. Awesome. We'll do that. Okay. I know it. I know. Okay. So here's the thing though. You're working with Oracle deck. If you're already working with Oracle deck and you love it and you're comfortable with it, awesome. Keep leaning in, keep trusting yourself, and allow yourself that space of reference where you begin to see how you're the one answering your question. Spirit is answering your question. Yes. Spirit is giving you guidance. Yes. But you're not separate from that. You're in a reference point, a variation point, who is allowing communication with itself. Holding that alignment more and more will take your space of how you read Oracle cards for yourself and others to an entirely new level. Allowing that kind of vibration of separation, of seeing yourself as either less than or not one with the one who's bringing in the answers, allowing that to heal, allowing that space to dissolve and alchemize into an alignment and an understanding of you're answering yourself from another reference point of view. Okay? That's going to be very helpful. And that's going to expand as you give it room to expand. And if you don't work with Oracle decks, if you've never done a deck before, this may be your message to yourself to lean into this communication process if it feels cool, right? And it doesn't have to be like, if you ever do a reading and you're like, I don't understand it, I don't really feel aligned with it. So just say thank you and put the cards up and go about your business. Don't get in your head about it or worried about it or overthink it. Remember, the whole thing is a game anyways. I know that's a big one, and I know some people don't like that because they got some serious stuff going on. But at the end of the day, you are safe and you are loved and you are eternal, and you happen to be having a now to expand, explore, and evolve and grow. And so you're playing a role, you're playing a game, and this is the one you designed it to be, and you're the one that changes the role, expands the role, shifts the role, rewrites the role as you go. That's the exploration, that's the expansion. So don't give this too much power, I guess, in a way. I hardly even read for myself anymore. I love Oracle decks and they're fun. They're so fun. But I love reading for other people because I've learned to listen to myself more. And I work with clients all over the world who are just learning to trust themselves, and they're just learning to step into that space of communication with their inner knowing, their higher mind, their higher heart. And so these types of session spaces where they get a reading and we talk about it, and then maybe we even move and clear some energy as well, because that's what we do with a Acasma quantum energy reading. Is I do readings for people, and then I also help them clear and shift the energies. So like I said in the very beginning, the cards reflect the energy of the person. So if they don't necessarily love the reading answer, we move the energy so that when they move forward in their life, the reading would be giving them a different interpretation. Okay, so this deck is available on my Etsy shop. It's the Acasma Oceans Oracle deck. And it does have an oceans theme. It does have all of the major Acasma quantum energy keys. So those cards come in various spaces in the deck, and they are all representative of Acasma quantum energy, which is it's an energetic healing modality similar to Reiki, for those who understand Reiki, quantum touch, quantum healing hypnosis technique. They're all similar in a sense. Acasma quantum energy is an ascension modality as well as an energetic healing modality. And so it will assist you in the expansion of your being as you are ascending, because we're all ascending. We're all shifting our consciousness and remembering that we're more. And so Acasma quantum energy helps assist with that. And so the energy keys that come through in the deck, if you happen to pull these cards, would be the root reconnection. This is the key here. If you're seeing this, and this is available on different platforms. So some people are doing the audio only. And if you want to catch the visual, you could go to YouTube and the visual of this is available there. But we have the earth reconnection key. And then we also in Acasma quantum energy have a key called the soul reconnection key. So the earth reconnection key is down at the feet in a session. The soul reconnection key is going to be up at the crown, above the crown. And so you've got the body of the human in between these two energy keys in an Acasma quantum energy session. And that is assisting the anchoring, grounding, and rooting of the person, the reconnection to the earth, because most humans are disconnected from the earth. Even highly enlightened, yogic, walk in nature people, there's a there was a distortion placed in the light field a long time ago. And then that helps to keep the human from reconnecting. And Acasma quantum energy and many other modalities that are coming in that are higher dimensional modalities that we're bringing into ourselves from ourselves are assisting removing that distortion and reconnecting the human. So that's what happens with the earth reconnection in Acasma quantum energy. And so anytime I do a session for anybody, because I also do energy session work as well as readings. And that's always in a session. And I have people that are learning to do this as well, because we have facilitators now all over the world, and we have teachers all over the world, and we're being taught in right now 7 different languages. So it's fantastic. And it came in 2020. So the growth rate is just incredible. We're very grateful. We're here to do this, and we know it. And so we're rising up, and we're acknowledging that. So most people that find their way to me and find their way to Acasma Quantum Energy, they know that this is the space, and they don't need to continue to seek out additional spaces, additional types of energy modalities. They've realized this is the ever expanding connection point that has it all. And there are many more like us, but I'm saying this one definitely holds a resonance for many. So we also have the Sacred Heart Reconnection, which is our beautiful power symbol in the Acasma Quantum Energy teachings. This is in front of the heart center in an activation session, and it can go many other places as well, but it's always there for the Sacred Heart Reconnection in an energy session. And that is for the I am. Your heart has a portal of energy, your center, not the organ. And there is a portal open in your body when you are bringing your I am in, your higher consciousness in. So the ascension process is happening, and Acasma Quantum Energy assists with that. There's also this key, it's called the Peace and Balance key in Acasma Quantum Energy. And the Peace and Balance key does just that. It activates and expands the vibrations of peace and balance. So we talked about early on in this podcast that everything holds an energy, everything holds a vibration. And so these energy keys hold the vibrations I'm speaking of, and this one is peace and balance. And the mind needs the peace and balance because it's expanding and changing and dropping old programming and ending old cycles and clearing old patterns, and it's implementing new ones. So peace and balance on the mind, peace and balance on the throat, 2 key centers that are really involved in the change process of the human as it's ascending. The last energy key from the Acasma Quantum Energy teachings that's in this deck is called the Chalice of Life, and this blesses your waters. So this is really cool, because if you've ever seen any studies done on water, water holds memory and programming. And so if you think about all the spaces in the body in which water is, the cells, the blood, the organs, it's incredible the amount of makeup of water in all these spaces in the body. Well, anything we think and anything we believe in and have repeated to ourselves or heard from others through our lives becomes a part of the programming, then the vibrational programming that's inside of our water, and then the water amplifies it. So if it's I'm not enough, be quiet, shut up, nobody cares what you have to say, you're never going to amount to anything, don't be stupid, you're so weak, I don't know. But all these things that could be said and then some, they can be in the waters. So can you're amazing. You are so smart. I'm so grateful you're my friend. You're one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Trust yourself. I'm surrounded by love. I am love. I am safe. All of this is programming. It's all vibrational. And depending upon what our belief structures are and what we've been saying to ourselves and hearing from the world around us, that's running in our waters. So the beautiful Chalice of Life, it helps to clear those waters and balance those waters and reset those waters to the most optimal flow of the person for that divine I am presence that is you, who's inside of a now human having this experiential space. So it resets the waters into that alignment. So all of those keys are in this deck, along with various guidance, insights, understandings. That would be ways in which you could align and understand a new space of you, right? So like this card, for instance, says, let it go. It's time to release the space, the mindset, the cycle. So if that came in, you say, oh, Spirit, what is the most important thing for me to know right now? And maybe one of the cards says, let it go. And you go, I know, there's that one spot in my life I need to let go. And maybe you get the card that says, this is a good one, you're on the right path. So you ask your question, what do you need to know right now? And you get, you're on the right path. Keep moving forward. Trust yourself. It's happening. Excellent, excellent. Maybe you get flexible. Can you be more flexible in this space? Can you shift your perspective? Flexible. So there's lots of guidance, lots of insight. There's also these sacred geometry symbols with different guidance, like portal of remembrance, set aside some time to meditate, allow the connection with your inner knowing, divine feminine healing, allow your left side to release what it is ready to. Feminine energy is clearing in your life at this time. Third eye expansion. So these are just like symbols that come in with guidance on what's going on with you right now. Pause. This one says, stop pushing, pause this space, allow your inner knowing to open up the flow, trust yourself. So lots of guidance, lots of information, and energetic assistance, which I thought we were ready for. We are ready for. So Oracle decks are amazing. They're fun. They're interesting. They can be extremely helpful, especially if you're in a space where you just can't get a clear answer in your being. And I have like clients that'll reach out and they'll be like, I'm just done trying to make this decision. And they will want to know what I think. So they're very powerful. They're very helpful in that manner. They're very helpful in that manner. But always remember, if you don't like the answer, change your energy, because it's just a reflectiveness of whatever energies are available in the space. And sometimes it can be somebody else's energy because you're reading about a group or an event or a relationship. And so take that into mind. You got to breathe into the space, be available to hear yourself, trust yourself, drop the lenses of fear. Never do a reading from fear. If you're reading and asking a question and you're coming from a space of fear, that vibration that you're coming from is going to kind of be involved. And it's not that it's bad, but it will register back to you that there's fear involved in the space. And it's because you're afraid of it. So it's registering your fear. And it'll probably say, time to clear. It'll probably say, time to shift, drop the lenses of fear. The answers will come in accordingly to the vibration that's available. So when I was talking and kind of shuffling and playing, just ending this podcast call up with you, this card jumped out. So I think we should acknowledge it. And I'd love to do it with you together if you'd like. So this card is the Earth Reconnection card. So I already spoke about this a little bit, but I'll give you a little bit more on it. That is an energetic key in Acasma quantum energy that assists you in grounding your energy. And so we're going to work together right now, because when we see these keys, we know that it would benefit us to either do the Earth Reconnection, Soul Reconnection, the Sacred Heart Reconnection, or the Chalice of Life, working with the waters. When we see these keys, we know that it's good to use them. Okay, they're coming in for a reason. They're saying, use me. This would benefit us. Let this energy flow. So if you're okay with it, and if you're not, that's okay. It's been nice spending time with you talking about Oracle decks. But if you'd like to hang out for about 5 more minutes, we can do some grounding, and we'll allow the grounding of the energy. And we're going to see our root lines, which run from our feet. They come down from the base of our torso. So right below your tailbone is your root center. It's a little energy center where the space of you, the energy connection point of view that grounds you into feeling safe and protected and provided for and loved, is right there at the base of your torso. And so when we're out of balance in that center, we don't feel safe, we don't feel loved, we don't feel provided for. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a signal to us to get that energy and love it and heal it and nurture it back into balance. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But the work I do, Acasma Quantum Energy, can help everybody across the board with resetting that root center. And that's what we're going to do right now, right here. So you don't have to know anything about energy work. You don't have to have ever had an energy session. All you have to do is hold the intention of availability. So if you right now are available to reset and ground yourself deeper and reconnect yourself with the earth, maybe for the first time at a level that is truly beneficial and most optimal for the expansion of your consciousness in your human format. This is going to help with your ascension process. This is going to help with the way in which you receive ascension codes from sunlight, ascension codes from your inner knowing, from the higher mind and higher heart, from your guides, your guardians, your teams of light. All reference points of you that you're tapping into this understanding of connectiveness, unity consciousness, unified field presence. The earth reconnection that I'm going to do with you now is going to bless your roots line, the root center at the base of the torso, all the way down your legs, like lines of golden light. That's what it is. Out your feet into the new earth and anchor you deep so that you can be unwavering in your faith, that you know, that you know, that you know. You're surrounded by love. You are guided. You are guarded. You are safe. Always. Always. And that can begin to expand more and more in your life and assist this process of you waking up to remembering, allowing, and trusting more of you. All right, so let's allow this space. Let's allow this space. Just take a moment and close your eyes. If you can't do that right now, just come back to this part later and just listen to me right now and connect in a way that you can, okay? If you're able to close your eyes, close your eyes. Allow your breath. You're just breathing at a nice pattern that works for you. There's no specifics of has to be in through the nose and out through the mouth or held this long or released that way. Just breathe. On the exhale, you're letting the body drop. Shoulders relax, back relaxes, face relaxes. Just allow the space. Just allow, there you go. Ha ha ha, beautifully done. Ha, beautifully done, Holy One. You are a divine, sacred being. Having a now as a human. Breathe, blessing the root center at the base of the torso. For some of you, this is a reset of the center and an expansion of the center, a clearing of the center. There's the release from the sacral and the solar plexus as well. There's an understanding of you didn't feel safe. Some of you haven't felt safe your whole life. Yes. Some of you have only recently stepped into safe, loved, guided. Yes. Just allow your breath, please. The reset is happening. The balance is happening. The expansion is happening now. Breathe. Beautifully done. For some of you, this is also an opening of the heart because you shut off the heart. You shut off the heart because you didn't feel safe. This whole thing is opening. The root at the base of the torso, the sacral, just above that, the solar plexus around the stomach, and then the heart, all opening and reconnecting for the flow of you to move. So you're no longer compartmentalizing yourself and shutting yourself down for what you call safety. It was, actually doing the opposite in the sense that it was stunting you. It was forcing you into patterns and cycles to try to get you into a space where you would shift out of and release this old, denser flow and allow the flow of safe, allow the flow of love, allow the flow of peace that you are. Breathing, please. We're reconnecting you to the earth now. Lines of light down your legs, out your feet, centers on the bottoms of your feet, activating, activating, activating. Breathing, please. Lines going deep into the earth. This is new earth frequency. Please breathe. You are available. Yes. You are available for the new frequency. You are available for the new reflection. Yes. Trust yourself. Yes. Allow the space. Yes. We're blessing this reconnection point now. Breathe, please. Deep grounding coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautifully done. Thank you. Allow, breathe. Be the space. Yes. Be the space, be the space, just be the space. There you go. Oh my goodness. Opening in the mouth of the I am at the base of the skull. Yes. A new voice. Yes. Your voice, your authentic voice flowing in your form. Breathe. Crown opening. Sacred heart reconnection expanding. Just allow. Just allow. Some of you want to drop your head forward very slowly, chin to chest, at whatever interval is good for you. Just nice and slow. Drop the shoulders. When you're ready, bring the head back up to neutral. Beautiful opening, beautiful expansion, beautiful anchoring. Yes! Just allow your breath, please. Peace and balance coming in, a new sense of grounding coming in. This is very deep peace. You feel like you're floating. Yes! A very beautiful release of worry, release of anxiety, release of stress, release of overthinking, and ability to allow. The ability to allow, to trust at a new level and allow the flow of life, knowing you are always being taken right where you need to go. Breathe, please. Yes, beautifully done. Beautifully done. Just allow the space. Just allow your breath. Beautifully done. Sealing this in the greatest degree of love, blessing you now with that seal. What you have allowed here, connected here, implemented here, no one can take from you. It is done. Breathe. Yes. Beautiful. Now gently, slowly, when you're ready, if you're ready, you put your hands in prayer position. If you're not ready, stay in longer, that's okay. If you're ready, put them in prayer position. Right in front of your heart, eyes closed still, eyes open, you can choose. Oh, beautiful anchoring, beautiful grounding. When you're ready, gentle, gentle, gentle bow forward. And a gentle return upward. That's the divinity. You're acknowledging the divinity within you and the divinity within all. What a fascinating space, yes? What a beautiful connection point we've shared. Talking about oracle cards, enjoying a few readings together, and then a beautiful Acasma quantum energy session for the earth reconnection, for those roots that opened up into expansive clearing, shifting, and the assistance of the ascension of your being. I'm honored to be this space with you, Holy One. Honored. Thank you. Blessings upon you. Blessings. I will see you next time.